because this man has been a gentleman who's been a power of one, a voice in our for my brother Edgar, and he has spoken for a generation. And from the Boogie Down KRS-ONE has earned many titles. As a philosopher, as an activist, as an author, as a lecturer, and as an MC. He founded, of course, with Boogie Down Productions in 1980. His work is legendary, but he has also been a great part of many accolades for his effort in stopping violence. It's called the Stop the Violence Movement, which was a collection of artists and people in the community who wanted us to understand what violence did to our community. So he is, like Human's Power of One program, he's a voice of the people, and we're so happy to have him here today. And it's so legendary, so great to have you here at Human.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for coming. I'm on off.
Yes, sir.
Let me get right to the point. First of all, it is a complete honor for me to be here today. Let me tell you why. Because the Harlem that you know is not the Harlem that I know. 1970. Me and my moms and my brother Kenny are walking around Harlem. Same street. Same exact street. Out here, we 1970. Heroin is everywhere in Harlem. Everywhere. You walk right outside that street, a couple of guys are nodding on the corner. And we don't have that in our backdrop anymore. The heroin epidemic is not as prevalent as it was in the 1970s. In the 70s, you could walk down the street and see people nod on the heroin out in the street. The police would go by, would not help them, would not address them, it was just a normal part of society to see men and women nodding out on the corner. My mother brought us down here because she said, I want you to see the effects of these drugs in our community. And at the time, we're 7, 8 years old, we don't even care. We're just like, whatever, Ma, whatever. But she's taking us around and showing us. She's saying, look at this. Do you want to be like this? No, we don't. And the people look terrible. I mean, you know what a heroin addict is. They're terrible. We're the little kids. Oh, no, we don't want to be that. We didn't think nothing of it until years later when we were offered heroin. And right away off the top, there was a few of us in the community. Well, then, now it's like the 80s now. And, yo, we got this heroin. Yo, we got this H, what? Now me, my mom's already was in me. So I was ready to, I know that road already. I ain't messing with that. Nah, man, I ain't going there. That didn't happen when the crack cocaine era came. When the crack era came up in about 84, 83, 84, 85, there was no, obviously there were parents who were protecting their children, obviously. But on a mass level, there was the voice against that, against the new crack era coming in, the Reagan era coming in, that whole thing coming in. There was no major voice, there was no pushback against the crack epidemic like there was for the heroin epidemic. Black Panthers were against it, even though they were involved in it. They were still against it as an ideology. And so was the Nation of Islam. So was active churches in the community. There were pushbacks. 85 comes in, crack comes in, there's no pushback. The only pushback you got is rappers saying, yo, this crack is whack. You had graffiti writers Riding on the side of the train, crack is whack. There's a guy made that saying popular, Keith Haring, a famous graffiti writer, Keith Haring, wrote, you know, used to put it all over the city really, crack is whack. Another famous graffiti artist jumped on with him, his name was Chico. Chico did a whole bunch of storefronts on 125th Street throughout the 80s and 90s. He too put on the storefront, crack is whack. This is rappers and graffiti writers. Mayor, silent. Governor, silent. Senators, silent. Law enforcement, silent. The hospital, silent. Schools, libraries, all the institutions, silent. Like as if this crap was not in the neighborhood. Like it just, like you're crazy. What you're experiencing doesn't exist. We're just gonna go on with our everyday life. Now the reason I start our little tale here is because this is the part of urban life that a lot of so-called philosophers do not want to discuss. We want to discuss Aristotle. We want to quote Francis Bacon. We want to discuss, was Nietzsche Superman racist? When right outside your door is death and destruction, and there are no ministers speaking. One of the biggest ministers in New York politically, Calvin Butts, Reverend Calvin Butts, sided with Bloomberg the other day. Say what you want, have your political affiliations, whatever, but at the end of the day, the city's quiet. Crime going on in the city quiet. Officials can't seem to figure it out. Nothing. This is how hip hop begins. I was 8 years old. I'm living in the Bronx, 1600 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx. It's 1973. Me and my brother were there in the Bronx. We live at 1600 Sedgwick Avenue. A guy by the name of Cool DJ Herc lives in 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx. We share a playground. It's like 1520 was here and 1600 was here. In the middle is a playground. This guy, Cool Herc, would come outside and play his music free to the public. Free. And when I'm laughing, I'm actually thinking here because at the time to get into a club, it was 25 cents. Yeah. Wow. We were squawking over that. And Cool Herc would come out in the park and play for free. Now imagine, the economy is 25 cents.
Yes, sir.
We're like, damn, we ain't got that. How we gonna hear this music? Cool Herc comes out and plays his music for free in the park. Let me show you what that was about. One, he wasn't the only person playing music in the park. There was hundreds of DJs were out there. He wasn't even the first. There were people like Elvis 007, DJ Mandingo, Pete the DJ Jones, Hollywood. These guys were doing it at the same time Herc was doing it. The problem was, you had to pay to see them. Rule number one in hip hop. Hip hop began out of love.
Yes.
It began out of charity. If you keep chasing money in hip hop, you really never get it. What brings you money is love. Even down to products. The products you buy them because there's a little bit of respect, a little bit of, I don't want to say love, like there is affection. There is some emotional tie to the product. This is how hip hop blew up. There was love in it first. First, it was love. What's the love? First, broken glass everywhere.
People pissing on the stage, they just don't care.
Can't take the noise. Accurate. To the T. Melly Mel. Accurate. How we gonna get out of this situation? Heroin everywhere, cops wilding, no education, healthcare crazy, discriminatory justice. This is what we were born in. This is what Harlem was like in the 70s and 80s. Gunshots going off every hour. I used to be on 116th Street when I was homeless, speeding up the tape a little bit. I used to be right here, 116th Street. Well, that way. Well, I don't know. This way, right. Down there, you down there. And we all used to get together and rap, DJ, break. But some of us said, yo, man, I'm doing this, I'm getting paid, man, I'm doing this. Others of us said, when I wake up in the morning, I have no choice, I gotta run. These are the two types of people that started hip hop. The first was Kool Herc. I'm gonna give this out for free. James Brown, 1, 2, 3, 4, hit it. Boom, boom, bop, boom, 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 boom. He pick up the needle, drop it back on the break. 1, 2, 3, 4, hit it. Boom, boom, bop, pick up the needle, drop it on the break. 1, 2, Kool Herc. We in the park jamming this. Hours and hours, he dropping the break. 1, 2, 3, 4, hit it, picking the needle up and dropping it. Right at that spot. That's a technique that ain't even done. DJs don't even know that no more. Serato rules.
Ancient art.
DJs don't even know how to pick up the needle. You ever want to see it done correctly? Check out Grand Wizard Theodore. He still does it to this day.
Yes, sir.
If you see Grand Wizard Theodore on the bill, go check him out. You're going to see the needle dropping technique live in the party. It's something you've never seen before.
Yes, sir.
But this was early hip hop. And we wasn't dropping the needle or coming outside to play for free because we felt we were going to be on MTV. There was no MTV. There was no magazine. There was nothing. It was just us and this love for what we did. This is the beginning. Just, I love what I do. I feel good about what I'm doing. Rule number 1 in hip hop, you have to enter this culture in love. If you don't enter the culture with love, love for the culture, love for your craft, receiving love from the audience, you're not gonna make it. You can forget it. It's over. You can be hooked up by whoever. No love in the career, you're not going far in hip hop. Number 2 is charity. Kool Herc not only loved what he did, he gave it away for free. Most people go, I ain't rhyming, I ain't saying nothing till I get a check. It's actually the opposite. Every time somebody asks you to rhyme, you should be spitting your liquor. Any club there is, you should be there. This is the original rules. I'm an MC. But you can't be an MC and be a short order cook at Denny's. Unless while you're there at Denny's, cooking your short order cook, you rhyming. Even though you cooking right there, you got a rhyme on your mind. Yeah, I'm gonna cook the egg like this and then I'm gonna go. Or you the guy going, damn, I can't wait to get off this damn job, man. Then I can do what I want to do. Two different types of people. One person is being hip hop. The other person is trying to represent it. One person is, I'm repping real hip hop, I'm down with real hip hop, I'm down, but I'm not it. I'm repping it. I got Kool Herc I got Africa Bambaata's tapes. I got Cold Crush. I got early vinyl. I got everything.
Got the Kango. I got the Kango.
You got it. This is the difference. Some of us were actually hip hop. We came out, we expressed ourselves. Everyone else looked at it, mimicked it, and made careers. Nothing wrong with that. But how do you preserve the culture doing that? We just gonna keep taking, never give it.
Back, yep.
We keep plucking the tree, but never putting the seed back in the ground.
Whoa.
To get on the tree.
That's deep.
We're talking about the origins of hip hop, and I want you to understand this first before we go deeper. One, love. That opens the gateway to all talent, all skill. People don't realize. Me, I've had battles my whole career. Graffiti art battles as well as MC battles. The reason I enter the battle with confidence is because I enter in love. I don't battle people I don't respect. If I don't really respect you, I'll be like, you got it, go ahead. But if it's somebody stepping up, yo, Chris, you want to battle? And I really respect dude, I'm like, okay, here we go. Now let's get it in. But it's a love thing. And you notice with most real hip hop battles, the two MCs or DJs or B-boys or whatever, they come up, give each other a pound first. And then we go in.
Yes.
And we go in it, but then after that, win or lose, we come back to the table again, pound each other up. God, that usually you battling your friend. Usually it's the same guy you battled last week. That's how the battles work. Now the reason I mention that is because I want to emphasize love. You gotta love what you do, no matter what it is. When you love it, you'll die for it. And if you're ready to die, then you're ready to live. And this is what it really boils down to. How much do you love yourself? This is hip hop. This is not rap, not breaking, not graffiti art. This attitude is the attitude that produces that. First we had a concept called down by law. Harlem used to have that. People used to walk around down by law. Straight up. But that down by law had to do with the love and the respect you got from your community. That was the original MC. You got on the mic, why? Because the community asked you to rhyme. It's different today. Today we all rhyme. And nobody's asking nobody to rhyme. I'm rhyming. I'm gonna rhyme. But back in the days, you was asked, yo, kick your rhyme.
That's true.
Then the MC would step forward. If the MC was never asked, the MC was carrying crates for the DJ.
Oh, he was whack.
That's it. You just carry the crate. And that was the apprenticeship. As an MC, you start out carrying the crates for your DJ. Every time you opened your mouth, it wasn't about you, it was about your DJ. Yo, this is my DJ and he's gonna. Check early Grandmaster Flash Furious 5 work. All they do is talk about Flash. Early Run DMC, all they do is talk about JMJ. Dougie Fresh, Get Fresh crew. KRS, Scott LeRock. I mean, it goes on and on. Love. Charity. Give your talent away for free. It always comes back to you in the millions. But this conversation is only reserved for those that are really exceptional. I was gonna say dope. For those that aren't bilingual. Charity, give it away for free. You give your talent away, everybody sees it. And if it's good, they will pay for it. If it's good, it's the key word. If it's good, they're gonna pay for it. And usually, the person who can give their talent away is good. If you're a rapper, if you can give away a 16 quick, oh, that means you got 116s to spit. You got songs you can, here, take that. You know, I'll tell you the truth, that's what I did on my first album. I'm living it down to this day. I'll divert for just 1 minute. Criminal Minded, my first album, 1986. I wrote the album, Scott LaRock and another guy named Ced G from Ultramagnetic MCs, they produced it. It was the three of us in a little room, getting it in. We take it to this record company, B-Boy Records. Well, actually then it was called Rock Candy Records and Filmworks. Got up there, long story short, they rip us off for the whole record. We get no publishing, no royalties, nothing. Criminal Minded comes out selling everywhere. I'm homeless, okay? I'm at no home. I'm in the street. I'm living in Prospect Park, Brooklyn. That's me. I'm writing my rhymes in the park. I'm riding on the train. It's 2 train, 5 train, E train, F train, D train. I'm riding up and down. I'm writing rhymes. When I get off to try to sleep on the train at night, daytime come, I get off the train and go check Scott LaRock. Scott got the beats out. I just wrote the rhyme last night on the train. I come for practice. I give Scott my rhyme. He's like, yo, use that one, don't use that one. Use this one, don't use this one. Go with this one. So we form up Criminal Minded. I'm still homeless. I go to the record company. You got some money for me? I know the record's selling. Nah. He ain't got nothing. I'm like, wait a minute. So it was Scott LaRock with a 4-year college degree. Scott was the guy with the degree, had a business degree from Vermont State. He said, yo, put down the 45 and let's go and get off this label correctly. We went to Warner Brothers. I gotta give you a story so you understand. Went to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, a guy named Benny Medina, famous executive. He actually hooked up Will Smith, got him his first gig as Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was the executive producer. Went to Benny Medina. Benny Medina at Warner Brothers. He said, yo, you in for $275,000. We gonna sign Boogie Down Productions to Warner Brothers for $275,000. Now I'm homeless. Okay, I got a free ticket, mustered myself together. I got on a plane, went to LA. I'm still homeless. I get to LA, Ice-T hooks up with us. So Ice-T is taking us around, and he got one record out. It's called 6 in the Morning. This is before colors, before all of that. We all struggle. Everybody out there. He got one single, 6 in the morning, police at my door. Fresh Adidas niggas. He running that. I'm running behind him on that record. He's there. So the bottom line was, I'm still homeless. I see other homeless people in this city. I pass them by every day. But I don't believe I'm homeless. I believe I'm KRS-ONE, and this is just a stopover.
Word.
I used to tell my friends all the time, you're not playing your part in the movie. They say, what the hell are you talking about? Because we're all broke, homeless with nothing. We're standing right outside the street, hungry. And I'm talking about, yo, man, no, we're gonna do Madison Square Garden, man. We're gonna be right there in the garden. Why don't you play your part, man? And some of my crew believed and understood what I was saying. The most was like, come on, man, you crazy. You need to go get a job. You need to do that. You need to. Here's the piece that's why I diverted and went to that story, because you know the rest of it. Rule with hip hop: if you don't believe in yourself, you're going nowhere. We hear all the time, believe in yourself. We don't really believe that. Do you know what it takes to believe in yourself? To be even more accurate, do you have the courage to be the real you?
That's deep.
That's the real question. Do you have the courage? The word is courage, not knowledge, not anything. Do you have the courage to be the real you? Not the mask you put on every day that's existing in society, but the real you. Like if I say, the real me, the real me. If I really acted like the real me.
I like that.
I may get kicked out of school being the real me.
Job.
I may lose my job being the real. I tell this clown what I'm really thinking. I may lose my job. I may get kicked out of school. I may go to jail. I may be in the hospital. This is why we are not the real us.
This is true.
Because there's consequences to being us. And when you say, you know, if you look at hip hop, this is the very argument against hip hop, and this is hip hop's own argument against itself. We are very good at being ourselves, unapologetically. We on TV like, yeah, this is it. We are the most extreme urban culture on the planet. The most extreme.
I agree.
Like there's all kind of urban cultures, Chinese, Jamaican, Cuban, all that's in the urban society. Everybody's urban. Germans are here, Russians are here. But for some reason, hip hop is louder than every culture in any urban city anywhere in the world.
That's true.
Why is that? What are we really dealing with then? You mean to tell me we influence more cities than that city's government? More people know my name than the name of their state senator. So who's really holding power? And this is the point with the gospel of hip hop. Can I get one? This is the point with this book here. I talked to you about the origins of hip hop. Love, charity, respect, vision, believing in yourself. Let me go deeper with you because I think you can handle it.
Yes, ma'am.
Right now, hip hop, as you know, is under attack. But it's not under attack like somebody wants to kill it. It's under attack because it doesn't know itself. The whole world calls us a nation. We don't call ourselves that. We don't even act like it. Time magazine put Lauryn Hill on the cover in the 90s and said the hip hop nation. Newsweek, same thing, hip hop. New York, the Village Voice. Huge hip hop nation. Now, why that wouldn't matter to anybody else. It wouldn't matter to anybody else except those people that you're calling hip hop are the direct descendants of the Malcolm X's, Martin Luther King's, Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael, Abernathy. I mean, this generation has forgotten the 60 civil rights struggle. Let's just get right to the point. It's not even right. Right.
They never knew it.
They never knew it.
By design.
Ooh! Just went right with that. And so right you are.
Yes.
By that last piece, by design. I'm not even gonna go there yet. By design. Our children today really are divorced from 60 civil rights struggle. And they're divorced from it by design. Because they're being distracted by something else. One of the other things they're being distracted by is hip hop. Listen to what I'm telling you. We are the world's distraction. This ain't right. But it ain't wrong either. We're the ones on TV talking about the guns, the coke, the crack, the fashion, the ice, the cars, the house,
The women.
the women, the men. We're going all out. Hip hop. But with such power, if we are distracting the world, then we have the ability to focus the world. The whole world knows what real hip hop is, and that's why they argue with the radio. Imagine New York City, right? If I took a poll right now, and said, "Do you really like what's being played on your radio station?"
Oh my God.
Everybody in this whole room would be like, "No," you know, a unanimous. But that's across the country. Keep me on time. We have this on the whole country. The whole country feels the way you feel. Why then does the radio sound the way it does? Like, this is the question. These are the hard questions right here. You don't like what's being played on the radio, yet you're being forced to listen to it. That's called a conspiracy. And we keep laughing in front of it. We keep okaying it. But it's killing us. There's a magazine we was just reading. I walked in with it. Where did it go? Where's the No, the one that said hip hop. No, there was another one. Give me the other one. The here we go. Thank you very much. These, like, look at this. This is an interesting thing. First of all, you should pick up copies yourself. They're sold right here in you. But I want to show you what is being called hip hop. No disrespect to my man right here. No doubt, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince is hip hop.
Yes.
No question about it. But take a look. Take a look. Now this would be acceptable. It's Will Smith. He came right out of hip hop. This would be acceptable as well. Snoop, Puffy. But notice what is hip hop. They got a little grab, a little break, and a little DJ, and D's on the MC. Puffy and MC. I'm just saying, no disrespect. Puffy and MC. They have the four elements here, and they're repping Puffy. Now there's another one in the same series that says hip hop, and it has Christina Aguilera. Can I get that? They don't believe it. I just want to point this out real quick.
But they put the hyphen in though.
They put the hyphen in as well. And plus also, come on, yeah, let's go. Evidence. Hip hop.
Where's you at?
Good question.
Where's you at?
Good question. Sierra. Now, no disrespect to Sierra, she's good. But is this hip hop?
No.
This is the question. No disrespect to Sierra, she's doing her thing. But when you take this is what we should be concerned with. What is hip hop? Everybody's saying it's this, it's that, it's that, it's this, it's that. And at the same time, we're losing it.
Yes.
So now, in 1994, we knew this day was coming. We knew this day was coming. In fact, we thought it would be Britney Spears. Where's that Christina Aguilera? Believe me here. We thought it would be that. In 1994, Africa Bambaataa held a meeting. Well, he was part of a meeting of the minds, which is also transcribed in this book. That meeting is, in 1994, we had at the Schomburg Center, right there on 135th Street. Thank you. Right there at 135th Street. Right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all don't believe me, I know you don't. So I have to bring evidence right quick. Your culture is leaving you. And no disrespect to Christina Aguilera, first of all, she's doing her thing. First of all, one of the reasons why she's probably on this cover is because she looks like a pop star to us, but in real life, she is hip hop. She hangs with nothing but hip hoppers. She follows the code, the whole nine. She even has DJ Premier producing her album. deeper than that.
Anthem,
So in a lot of ways, if you know behind the scenes, you be like her as a person. She's hip hop as a person. She's doing it. But even she, I think Christina would even disagree with this right here. The point here is in 1994, Africa Bambaataa said, the day is coming when hip hop will not be defined anymore by urban, by the streets. It will be defined by something else, more corporate. Most of us listen to Africa Bambaataa, and we started moving our music toward a more Afrocentric or Pan-Africanist view. Even the so-called white rappers in our culture, Third Base, you know, they even started moving they music and lyrics toward an Afrocentric base. These are white men, Pete Rock, and MC Search. They put a record out called The Gas Space. You should really listen to those lyrics of The Gas Space. They broke it down. It was on some 5% of like the two white dudes. Like, and they're in Latin quarters in the early 80s spitting this. And I bring this up because in '94 we knew that our culture was a culture. Everyone else didn't call it that, but we knew that's what it was. But to know that in 1994 was to also put yourself on a so-called blacklist. In 1994, a few of us stood up. The Originators, Kool Herc, Bam, Bambaataa, Crazy Legs, Theodore, Taps Crew, and all of us, the Originators, we all stood up and we said hip hop is a culture, and here's the pillars: peace, love, unity, and safely having fun. It's Africa Bambaataa Zulu Nation. We said let's move on.